When your son Ricky loves WWE, your husband's more of a dramedy guy, and your daughter loves rom-coms, the money your family spends on streaming services each month can add up. But at Verizon, you can save on the best entertainment.
Need better internet than 5G? Your search is over. Get Cox Internet for just $40 a month when you add Cox Mobile. It has faster, more reliable.
Lord, for the blessing of God to rest upon them and all that they do. Thank you for the sacrifices they've made for so many, Lord, to elevate your cause and their service, which is to take care of us. So thank you now for blessing our time before you today. Thank you for your guide hand as we go through this program, Lord. And thank you for the continuation of success that can only come from you and from you. In Jesus' name.
How do you do it? Good morning. Morning. Wow. Okay, we can do better than that. On behalf of the entire Christian leadership here, I want to extend a heartfelt welcome to all of you and our sincere thanks to the Small Business Administration for this incredible honor. Today, we stand here not just as a company, but as a testament to the strength, resilience, and innovation that defines American small businesses. At Millen Green, our mission has always been to deliver precision, reliability, and excellence in every vessel we touch, whether it's a minor repair or major opening. But behind every project is something more powerful, and that's our people. From the goals to our office and support staff, this award belongs to every individual who has helped shape our journey. We're deeply proud to contribute to our region's maritime heritage and economic development. And this recognition fuels our commitment to quality, community, and continuous growth. Thank you for celebrating this moment with us. We are honored, humbled, and more determined than ever to keep delivering ship by ship, job by job, and day by day. So thank you. Before we continue, I'd like to take a moment to acknowledge and sincerely thank our distinguished guests who have joined us today. To our elected officials, it's also there, Falcon Martin. And community leaders and industry partners and honored colleagues. Your presence here means the world to us. Your support uplifts businesses like ours and strengthens the fabric of our maritime and small business communities. We're truly honored to have you here with us today. Now, it is my distinct pleasure to introduce a true leader in American ship repair and small business action, Mr. Donald G. Mills, President, General Manager, and General Manager of Mills Marine Ship Repair, LLC. With over 3 decades of experience in the maritime industry, Mr. Mills has built a reputation for integrity, innovation, and an unwavering commitment to quality. Under his leadership, Mills Marine has grown from a small operation into a trusted name in the ship repair community, supporting commercial and government clients alike with exceptional craftsmanship and timely delivery. More than a business leader, Mr. Mills is a mentor, a visionary, and a passionate advocate for workforce development and local economic growth. His dedication to excellence has not only propelled this company forward, it has strengthened the entire region's industrial base. So please join me in welcoming Mr. Donald Lee Miller.
You know what I really don't observe the people in this room and outside of this room who's been a part of this journey do. So can we thank God for those? So for those of you who don't know, I'm earning this accent. I'm North Carolina. I try to educate her the way I try to do, you know, put it halfway anywhere, so I just form it and I'm gonna hold on to it for the rest of my life. Well, my father used to start like this. He said, son, I've never seen a one-armed man wipe his hand alone. So that's the kind of way that I would like to start this speech today. It takes more than one. I've never seen a one-armed person try to wash their hands alone. So everybody needs somebody. And here at our company, the most trusted thing that we have is our relationship with one another. I couldn't do this without you, wouldn't want to do this without you, and especially this lady sitting up here on the front row. You know, you have been long throughout the years. I will say that you have walked me through the thick and the thin and the ups and the downs, the good, the bad, the ugly. You've been there through the all. So thank God for you. The hard work and attitude that it has taken to persist in this industry. The last time I had most of the people in the room, I shared this. It haven't been my know, it's been my why. What gets us up in the morning? Why do we continue to pursue? Why do we continue to drive? 17 times, 16 times, I was only about when we first got it. Nobody wanted to take the ugly duckling out. Nobody. But we found one yes. One yes. And because of that yes, we exist today. We knew that our why would one day take care and support a lot of families. So you can't say that you love people and not provide for people, not respect people. I don't care what walk of life you come from or what gender that you happen to be here, what got you here. You have arrived in this earth with purpose, and God has a plan for your life. My question to you in this room today and abroad, if you're watching online, is what is your purpose in life? Whose life is going to be different because you stepped in and why you stepped in? Giving people the recognition and showing gratitude and respect should not be optional in this section. It should be mandatory. Irregardless of what general life that you come from or how you got here. Everybody has purpose and everybody has a plan. And God has a plan for your life. And it's good and not of evil. It's to prosper you in every way. But we've got to plug into that plan. One of the things that we do when it comes to decision making is how is the decision that I'm making today going to affect the lives of others? That should be the number one requirement. Is it going to have a negative impact, positive impact? What kind of impact will it have on the lives of others? Because when you do stupid, it hurts the lives of others. See, people see the decisions, the fruit of the decisions, the right decisions that you made. What they don't see is the choices that you had. And we can all get off track with that. It's so easy. So when the missed meal payments start and the bank accounts are low and you're striving to get that next piece of work and the desires there to continue to grow and succeed, that can swerve your attitude and the way you approach things. But my encouragement today is that we will stand fast. We have stood fast, and we will continue to stand fast. These 4 principles has governed my life, has governed our lives, governs the value of our company. Is people first. People first. The quality of the relationship that you have with your customer base and how you support them. Quality in our relationships, quality in the work that we produce, quality. I don't worry about the quantity too much, because if you focus on quality, the quantity will come. The quantity will come. And this final, what are you going to do to continue to build your relationship, to continue to support the nation and the cause for which we serve? I told Second Ave 3 years ago, and we have chosen to support the mission of the United States Navy. We don't do a lot outside there because we know that you can't be good at all things. So we've had to narrow our focus. And thanks to the people in this room for helping us. I have to acknowledge my friend, who's called Bob and Sherrill, who's been the deputy director in Richmond for a long time. Their team, their counsel, their guidance, being able to call and say, you know you need this rights and make me rethink this, has been a wonderful thing. And Carl, I hope I'm not putting you on the spot, but I'll share this. We've got to be friends over the last 3-4 years. And I value his input because he's such a brilliant man. Sherrill is down to that, She's been patient with me when I call and say, you know. For her BOSs and the contributions that they've made has affected who we have become in industry. So I want to acknowledge you and give you guys a round. Sir, I don't have anything else. So we're a little bit ahead of where we are. The employee recognition piece, you guys learned this, and it wasn't us. It was not us. Well, I've got some special people in the room that I want to reach out to. Priscilla, you know you're going to be at the top of that list. But the contribution that you guys make in it every day, Bill, Michelle, Wadil, Sean Banks, Franny, Tanya, and I could just go on, Mr. Nixon, Mr. Malone. It is y'all's dedication that takes care and feed a lot of families. I rest with, we rest with my lovely bride, you know, and her management of the funds, that wasn't the door y'all heard squeaking outside. I'm a conservative banker. Shari and the line. I got told I couldn't go home without mentioning anyone. But guys, just thanks again from a cold country boy. With a heart of gratitude. With a heart of gratitude. Hard work pays. Hard work pays. Prayer pays. Relationship and respect pays. It pays. So, you know, I'm just grateful for all that we've all accomplished. And I can't thank each of you enough. And let's start off with that said, sir, the floor is yours, and you can have your way.
Well, thank you so much. Mills Marie, thank you for so much for hosting today, and thank you for attending. You know, everybody always asks about this award because so many chambers and nonprofit organizations, they create their own entrepreneur of the year and all that. And I laugh about it because it started with us. And then it's grown. So everybody supplies their own unique person or persons each year, which we are truly privileged and honored to have through this whole process. And for me, what I always say that makes ours very unique is it's not about the success of the company per se, but it's what it does for the community. That's kind of a big weight on our weighting factor when we choose our winners, and that is literally what do they do for the community? And we'll talk about that, what that actually means when we say community. And over the years, you know, we've had different winners in a number of years of being with SBA, and having been a previous owner of companies and things like that. I always am in wonderment of each company, what gets them started to move forward, and what support mechanisms got them to where they are. And at the same time, what challenges they face as they move forward to their success and they continue to go. So at the end of the day, the key question for me always is, what are they doing for their community? Because if they're not doing anything for the community, I don't really care what they're doing, because when they go, the community won't miss them. And that's reality. And we see that happening time and again when somebody goes out of business. I don't even know who they were, because they weren't part of the community. When somebody is, it creates a major disruption. Everybody tries to figure out how can I. And that, to me, is the most critical thing. So I sat here and, as Mr. Mills has said, we are friends. And so I always, he thinks, which I'm shocked, that he really didn't have purple on. So I went purple. So with that, so I picked Heath and I lived him over the years as we talked. And yeah, his wife has been a great supporter of the success, and without that, it will not move forward. That strong executive leadership team, without that, it doesn't move forward, because if you got the wrong team, it goes downhill. That has been proven time and again. And then the support players, the backbone of the company, as I would call it. The people that come in every day, produce the product that goes out the door, or the service, that basically what sustains the company, gets it recognized for what it is, and we didn't communicate it. So I sat here and I went back and I think about this. There's three things that really highlight me in this thing when he talks about the start of it all. And it was faith. Literally faith, as he always talks about, he always opens up and talks about his wife at 17, and that first faith, and going through that major obstacle without the support mechanism of parent. And then years later, the faith to actually leap into business when you've actually been very successful. And so taking that step and saying why, you know. And so I sit here in James 1:6, But when you ask, you must believe and not doubt, because the one who doubts is like a wave of the sea, blown and tossed by the wind. And the thing is that as I read that and I was thinking about it, I said, you know, everybody always talks about the angry sea, but it's actually the wind that's the strength that breaks the angry sea. And I always step back and I think hard about that. Is when we get some, it's always about what I go back to. I always say, what is the root cause? Everybody blames the sea, but actually the root cause is the root. And so having that belief that you can go beyond and overcome that, saying, I can do this. And that's the biggest thing. We were talking earlier about that, determination. And that's what basically gets you over obstacles. And one of the greatest things I always talk about is, as I mentioned earlier, is what is the strength of the company? When it faces the darkest times, what does it do? So initially, just trying to launch itself and finally getting a lender to actually be committed and invest to say, I trust that you can do this. But at the same time, you're growing as a company. And the angry sea hits, COVID. Yeah. Basically almost destroyed every company in the world that didn't have the proper support mechanism and have a way to weather that. So going with that, Isaiah 41:10, fear not, for I am with you. Be not dismayed, for I am here. I will strengthen you, I will help. I will uphold you with my righteous right hand. And I know during that time, a lot of companies were leaning on faith. The dear Lord to sit here and guide them through this. What can we do? And it wasn't so much about the company, it's about my people. That's right. It's about my community I'm serving. That's what I heard most of the time for those companies that were really successful. That's where the focus was. It was not about where I'm going to get my revenue in that. It was literally trying to figure out how do I take care of it and how do I take care of my community. And once that, and that's why I would say God looks out for those type of people because they know what good they're going to do down the road with it. But the key component, as I said earlier, is about the aspect of what they do for community. And when I look at community, there is their own personal family that you have, and you've done a great job with the success of that. That's one aspect. And most of the time when you see very successful companies, they have a strong family value. Number two, it's the company, because that's their adoption. That is the family they always sit here and think about, and they know the kids' names, they know any illness that's going on, and everything, birthdays, it's just amazing how they know each other. And it's the third piece that nobody ever talks about. And we always talk about those two in the business. But the third family is the community. And what you do with that family determines your legacy. And so with that, I sat here with 1 Timothy 3:4. He must manage his own family well and see that his children obey him. And he must do so in a manner worthy of full respect. And that's what I look at Mills Marine Shipyard. He has created that path that not only does his family respect him, his team members respect him, but also the community. And that's what we like recognizing for that small business person of the year. And we were so ecstatic that he got to go to Washington to meet the other 50-some winners and learn where he fit in the grand scheme of things. And as he said, it was a humbling experience. We all learn from that and grow from it. And that to me is what's exciting. And as we were sitting here talking before we started this, their direction, where they're thinking of going. That's what's exciting. And that's what I see, not only Mills Marine Ship Repair, but also the community that's going to have great benefits from this that I can see from the visions that are being explained to me at this time. So with that, I'd like to recognize you with our, that we have for you, since, you already got the one from Washington. So we would like to present to the Juneteenth players who are part of it.
Yes.
I mean, without you saying yes, it don't happen. So with that, I'd like to recognize Mills Marine and Chipper Bear for being our small business person here.
Oh, I can't thank you enough, sir.
No problem. Yes.
So deserved. We leave, you know. I guess. And I'm go here. I don't know whether you want to record this or not. The most important thing in a man and woman's life should not be what they do for themselves, but what they do for us. God, I sleep well. I really do. You know, Christ hasn't become just a part of my life. He is for life. And I see people going through this world, beating themselves up because I don't have this, don't have that, has reached this level. I will tell you guys, and this is the gospel truth. My wife asked me this question when I come home from church. I didn't even tell her for about 3 weeks because it concerns me. And, you know, we have them emotional moments, and then we come home. But I wanted to make sure that I heard from God when I started this church. So she asked me the next day. She said, "Honey, where you want down?" I said, "Nothing for a few days, because I really need to turn my plate over." So about 3 weeks later, I went to her and I said, "I just want you to pray. I don't need an answer from you, but I just want you to pray." Now, I want y'all to understand the impact of this. At 55 years of age, all my life savings, house paid for, everything. I told God was leading me in this direction. But I don't want to ask, I just want you to pray. And about 2 weeks, 3 weeks later, I asked her again because I was coming up on my 55th birthday. All right, and I qualified for retirement at 55. My retirement at that time was $550 a month. Still is $550. So I'm glad it's still $550. My medical insurance was $830. And this woman sitting on this front row said, "Yes, if God is leading you in that direction, then obey him." And I tell people, your blessing in this life is on the other side of your obedience to what he's saying. I don't want to turn this into a sermon, but I got to give credit where credit is due. So obeying him and hearing him. And I've had a lot of opportunity to change the direction. Mr. Nixon was the first guy that I gave that held the baby after I delivered. And that was the business plan. That was the business plan. That was the business model. Mr. Nixon, are we still uniform? We still follow? I'm gonna go back to Noah. When God told Noah to build an ark according to plans and spec, he didn't tell him to put on a balcony. He said, build it according to plans and spec. That's every day that I wake up. I'm trying to still follow that plan and that model. Because I know if we do, success is on the other side of that. Success is on the other side of that. So living or dead, and everything in between, we're not going to deviate from that business model. We're not. Because it is proven to be successful for us now. What's more important to me than anything is how we pass along that loss. Because you know what? We grew up in rural North Carolina, not just poor. We grew up poor. We couldn't even afford the OR. We did. So money has its place, But loving God and following him and submit to him is like a good hammer in the hand of a carpenter. It's a tool to be used. It's not the primary reason that we exist or what we do. It's a tool. I would like to share this, and I'm going to close on this note. Since we've been going, since 2009, we have been in lack, but we have never had a need that God didn't meet. I don't care what that number was. Never missed a payroll, never bounced a check. Never. Never. So what am I saying? What am I saying? Where we are right now is because of where he has us. And he don't have us where we are because of us. He has us where we are because of the lives of us. So every day that we show up for work, it's to support the lives of us. Y'all want to know why? That's the reason why we exist. Colin, I want to thank you because you know what you had to do? You had to get in that Bible and dig a little bit. You did. Because that's what moves me. That's what moves me. That's what motivates. I want to thank each and every one of you for coming. It's hot in here. It's warm. So we got some of the refreshments next door. We got a little bit of food. But let's take time to get to know one another if you don't. I want to introduce two of my very good friends in the room. This is Kevin Ogle, y'all. This is the guy with the checkbook for maybe. And Paul Staley, who's became a very, very good friend over the years. He's the small business deputy at NAPSA. He's seen me at my best, and he showed seen a little bit of that other side. And Small Q, who's one of the finest people on this planet. That I mean, man, your heart. When Carl talks about community, when it comes to Portsmouth, you got to cross the line. I mean, you're committing, you expect. You were full of thought. But tell me, you know, the day to get good thing. See, we're going to get in a tiny minute. And there's, good to see you tonight. But guys, today, let's break. I'm going to bless the food if you guys all right. Dear Lord, we're awesome and thankful for our time together today, Lord. We ask that you will bless the food for the nourishment of our lives so that we can serve you more and serve you better. In Jesus' name. Amen. I'm going to get out. You ready, Ricky? Yeah, we're going to find what's up? Praise me.
Hey, baby, you don't want to speak any language.